This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
And I am Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm in an all right mood.
Yeah, just all right.
I've been waking up lately just thinking like, come on, everything's dumb.
All right.
You ever get in that kind of that mood? I think it's because it's rainy.
Yeah.
Are you in like a...
No, Tim, I'll tell you what mood I'm in. Royal wedding fever mood. That's the mood I'm in.
royal wedding fever mood? One of
Well-
my... There's sad,
Mm-hmm.
melancholy, what I
Right.
am. There's happy,
Yeah.
joyful,
Mm-hmm.
neutral,
Yeah.
and then there's royal wedding
fever mood. Yeah.
There's also hungry.
That's not a mood.
It can be.
Angry can be a mood.
Hangry. That's a word that I love. I love when other people say it. I love to say it myself. Hangry. It's so you're so hungry that you're mad about it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate
It's
that
like,
that.
bring me my mozzarella sticks already.
Well, that's a very
TGI
personal.
Fridays server.
A very personal experience to you, Mr. Mozzarella Sticks himself.
Tom, I was hangry. I went to a pizzeria Uno the other night.
Yeah.
God, I ordered mozzarella sticks.
Instead of the pizza?
No, it's an appetizer.
Okay.
It's
Appetizer.
it's a prelude to the pizza.
Okay. With
They-
cheese.
Yeah, they came out probably less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
It was great. I was no longer hangry. I was happy.
What's your... All right. I know. Don't give me the stock I love apps answer here. What is your honest to God feeling about appetizers?
What do you mean? Like my stock answer is the truth.
But whenever I order an appetizer at a restaurant, I always regret it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then I can't finish my meal or I don't have room for dessert. Usually it's just like by the time the meal comes, I am 100% not hungry anymore.
Do you eat dessert when you go out to dinner?
I'd like to.
But do you?
No, I almost never do. But
Yeah.
I'd always like to.
Be a maniac. It's like, yeah, like you look at the menu, and if you're out with like more than 6 people, you
can
split
split
one
some
or
stuff.
two.
Well,
yeah.
same thing with apps.
Yeah, that's the point, Tom. Tom, here's why I love apps, and this has nothing to do with your royal wedding fever mood.
Well, they're going to have... Actually, it does. We'll get to that later.
Okay, I just like the food better.
Because it's fried?
Yeah, an app. You know what? A dream meal for me is an app
appetizer
sampler.
platter.
A sampler, right? Because
Yeah.
then you're not committing to one thing.
That's 100% true. I like variety in my meals.
Yeah. No, I don't want to, like, my dream meal isn't 12 mozzarella sticks all for myself.
It's 4 mozzarella sticks and then an entire pizza.
Yeah. No, it's 4 mozzarella sticks, some jalapeno poppers, maybe some dip.
Boy, is there any appetizer item where the quality varies more than jalapeno poppers?
You never know what kind of popper it's going to be.
Yeah. It really runs the gamut.
You ever have those ones that are just like a jalapeno that they like barely even bread and they just like fry it up?
Yeah, but I kind of
And
like
there's
that.
no cheese in it.
Whoa, I've never had
Sometimes.
that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a popper. What's popping then?
The jalapeno, it's always popping.
Yeah, I guess.
It all depends on how you put it in your mouth. You pop it in your mouth, it's popper time.
Well, you got to pop an app in your mouth.
Yeah, that's the way they're meant to be eaten.
That's why they make them in poppable sizes. Tim, there's a royal wedding coming up.
Yep, the queen.
No, not
No, the
Queen's
queen
getting
will-
remarried.
The queen will preside over it.
Of course, she presides over everything happening in
Yeah,
England.
apparently that's like her main job.
Yeah, just presiding.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gig if you can get it.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
full disclosure.
Yes.
You have been talking about the royal wedding in everyday life a fair amount lately. Like you're talking, you bring it up often in normal conversation.
A lot of times I bring it up by asking if people are going to the royal wedding.
Right? Are
If
you
it's
going
somebody-
to the royal wedding?
I'm not sure yet.
When is it?
It's this Saturday. As we're recording it, it's this Saturday. When this comes out, it will just have happened.
Okay, so people, perfectly timed again for right when everything that has been said
right
about
when
it.
everybody's done talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're all tired.
You know
of
what
it.
though? It's fine because
it's not like this is a wrap up where we could be like, well, here's what happened.
yeah,
at the royal wedding.
there was a big twist during the royal wedding. Now
Mm.
everything's gonna go off without a hitch. It better for the amount of money that's being spent on this shindig.
Oh, man, you are teasing a lot of facts.
Yeah, I sure am. It's happening our time, 7 a.m. On Saturday. Are you gonna get up early to watch it?
No, are you?
You know what? Sometimes my dog gets me up at that time
To watch
wedding
royalty?
videos.
Oh, just
Yeah, just to watch wedding videos. So, yeah, I might suggest to my dog, hey, how about we watch one live for a change?
yeah, and she'll be like, no, I want to watch our wedding, Tom. Remember that time you married
Shut
me,
up.
a dog?
That was a private ceremony.
I was honored that you made me the minister.
Yeah, well, it was adorable.
Yeah. The minister? What's the person called? The officiant.
Yeah, the officiant.
Yeah.
I mean, you were dressed like a priest. I don't know where you got that outfit.
Well, it gets me out of a lot of jams, Tom, and it's gotten me into a good number of jams as well. Never mind.
7 a.m., which is, I think it's noon at in London time.
Okay. That seems an appropriate time for a daytime wedding.
Yeah, noon.
I like that they're having it on a Saturday. They're not cheaping out and having it on Friday night.
Is that a cheap thing to do?
I'm told.
Why?
Well, now I'm thinking I have many friends who have had Friday night weddings. I'm sure they're just as great.
I was gonna say I think I like a Friday night wedding.
Why?
Oh, I guess because it's like after.
So you can have somewhere to go after work. That's like kind of just like a lot
I
of
guess
work.
It's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't work at 9 to 5, so I don't. Friday wedding, I'm like, cool.
Yeah. Hey, what day is it even right now?
Yeah.
Your wedding's Friday? Cool. What is it? Tuesday? It's like, Tom, it's Saturday. And you're like, I don't care.
Wait, huh?
Huh?
So I missed it?
No.
So
In the example I was giving,
Mhm.
here you say what day is your wedding?
What day is your wedding?
Friday.
Cool. Is that what
And
I
then you
say
say,
next?
what day is it today?
What day is it today?
Then you say
Jesus, Tim, this
Tuesday.
is a real long walk. You say
No,
Tuesday?
you do. If
Tuesday.
you don't know what day it is.
Oh, what day is today? Tuesday?
Nah, it's Saturday.
So I missed it?
No. It's next Friday.
Oh, okay.
6 days from now.
Great. That's just enough time to get my suit pressed.
Nice. See you there.
All right.
Then we shake hands and go our separate ways. I go to work and you go do whatever you do during
Yeah.
the day.
I wish I had 2 coconuts to put together. It would be me riding a horse off.
You ride a lot of horses on the weekdays?
In this particular example, why not?
Yeah.
I'll
Never
tell
learned to ride.
you. I've ridden a horse. I've told you about this.
Yeah, we're all very impressed.
So one of the there's a lot to cover here for the wedding wrap up that already happened.
Yeah.
1,200 commoners were invited to the wedding.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, they're not allowed in. They're not like allowed into the church. They're just allowed on the grounds. They had some local lords, not local lords, lords from on high, lords from wherever, pick out people to come.
Can you explain to me what a lord is?
I don't really know.
It's a title bestowed.
It's a title, and like in olden days,
Tom,
it was like.
Why did you insist on doing this episode?
Well, I didn't expect
We're
you
just
to
gonna
ask
get
me
angry
about
emails
lords
from the UK.
from some lord. Oh, I'll have you know, I'm the Lord of Canterbury, and I don't appreciate what you're saying about us so much that it's turned me a wee bit Australian. The lords, they got to pick some people. It's one of those things where, like, back in the old days, that was somebody who, like, cut people's heads off for looking at them funny. But nowadays, it's just like a title. It's just like a nice thing to say about yourself to people. I'm a lord.
Yeah, it can often be a courtesy title.
Yeah.
Just somebody who's well connected.
Yeah, exactly. Well connected through blood.
Or, yeah, okay, yeah, just people nobility. One thing that you're a big fan of is nobility, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Why earn anything in this world, right?
Give it to the blue bloods,
Exactly.
baby.
I'm more of a pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of man. That's why I'm an American.
That's why you're American?
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with you being born here.
No, I'm just a fan.
Oh, so you're an immigrant?
No, I was born here, but then unlike you, I love it.
Right.
And you always tell me, I tell people love it or leave it.
Yeah.
But you never leave.
But me, I'm one of the few remaining loyalists.
You shouldn't say that.
Why not?
They're looking for a reason to get rid of you, Tom.
They recently told all these commoners, though, this has become a big hubbub. I learned... Let me also give the disclaimer that everything I'm about to say on this podcast, I've learned through British tabloids.
Okay. Do you read British tabloids as like a matter of practice usually?
Yeah, I'm usually looking for, because sometimes they post like a pretty woman. Like, here's a picture of
they show
a local pretty woman.
They show nude women in their tabloids, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's fully nude.
Okay.
It might just be
That's
topless.
all right.
I don't pay enough attention. I just turn the next page.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm a gentleman. I'm just here for the celebrity and royal gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And the royal gossip about celebrities. And the celebrity gossip about royals.
Man, whenever I hear about a British celebrity that didn't break out here, I was like, what a depressing existence. I mean, I know their life is way better than mine.
1,000 times better,
but
probably.
It's also like,
hey, if you haven't made it here, baby.
Yeah, you're nobody to me.
But then you get to an article about Ricky Gervais, and you're like, oh, here's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is the real deal. You know what he does? He has the nerve, he has the audacity, he has the bollocks to come over here.
Yeah,
tell
it like it is.
And stand in front of our celebrities and tell them what he really thinks.
Oh, boy. I bet they hate it. They hate it.
They go mental.
Absolutely mental.
Absolutely mental.
And they're like, we'll never have you back.
Yeah, but guess what? They can't stay away from this guy. They have him back every year.
Who would? Why?
I don't know. Tom,
he takes the piss out of them and he keeps it.
He takes the piss out of them, and the whole time he's drinking a beer on stage at an event. He brings a big glass of beer out there.
Come
on. I'm serious, Tom.
Oh, wow.
It's a big glass too.
Wow.
Yeah.
A pint? A proper pint?
It's a proper pint.
Wow.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And some people are offended.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't believe it.
Oh, and I'm sure that upsets him a lot.
I swear.
Oh, that's got to weigh on him when
No.
he offends people. He's got to go home and be like, "Oh, I didn't
On the
mean
contrary,
to offend."
Tom. Sometimes it appears he delights in offending people.
No.
He's legitimately delighted from what I can tell.
Oh, I don't believe that. Anyway,
is he going to be there? At the royal
I don't
wedding?
think so.
Do they invite Mr. Bean to the royal wedding?
Well, no, God. I mean, if they're looking for a big screw up at the wedding,
Yeah,
sure.
but you know,
Man, I watched a Mr. Bean video the other day at my writing place where I'm supposed to be very quiet
and doing work.
and doing work.
Right.
Not watching Mr. Bean videos and quietly, not so quietly, cackling to myself. Why? He's a look, if you want to get the U.S. more into the Royals, put Mr. Bean in the royal family, for God's sake.
Yeah, come on, man. Just make him.
If the Brits came out tomorrow and they were like, guess what, guys? King Bean.
Yeah, you don't have to make him Bean. Prince.
No.
King. He's always going to be Bean. He's always going to be
but
Bean.
But Prince Bean.
Bean.
If they were like, look, he's Will and Harry's brother now.
Yeah.
Not Rowan Atkinson. That's a completely separate person. But Mr. Bean, is now one of the royal brothers.
That'd get me out of bed at 7 a.m.
Oh, 100%. Boy, can only wish. Anyway, these commoners that they invited, big hubbub, because they sent them all a letter, and they're like, oh, FYI, bring a boxed lunch. We're not going to feed you animals.
Wow.
At the wedding, yeah.
What would you bring? I'd bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
There was a McDonald's close to Windsor Castle.
You can't bring it. You can't eat McDonald's at a
Hey,
wedding.
look, if they're telling you BYOL,
Yeah.
and we're not going to supply anything, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, but you're going to sit there with a greasy bag through the whole ceremony?
What if you brought, I would do this. This is why I'm American and not English. I would go to McDonald's, and whatever's on the dollar menu, I'd be like, here's $100. Give me a mix. And then I'd share it with everybody there.
First of all, no, you wouldn't.
Well, once I was sure I was full.
You would order 100 items,
Uh-huh.
and you would, with the intention of like, I bet I could eat all of this. And then when you get to like item number 33, you're gonna be like, I don't feel so good. And then like that's when you're like, I know, I'll be altruistic here. And then you give it to the rest of the commoners who like also packed a lunch, Tom. They know what.
Yeah, but I'd be the most popular. They'd be putting me up on their shoulders, like, "Hey, this guy brought
brought us
cheeseburgers
poison.
for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Cheeseburgers from America.
Yeah, they're dollar menu cheeseburgers.
Dollar menu cheeseburgers are the same as regular cheeseburgers. Actually, I think the dollar menu ones are doubles right now.
Yeah, who wants a double cheeseburger?
Get out.
I don't like when McDonald's is like, here, more meat. It's like, no, the meat's the worst part. Stop. Like, put more
give
toppings.
me more
and
ketchup
stuff.
or something.
Yeah.
Give
Another
me a
slice
double
of cheese.
ketchup burger.
Yeah. Anyway, would you go if invited?
Yeah, of course. I would
Even
go
if you
I
had
was
to bring
invited.
your own lunch?
Yeah.
See? And that's why they can do it, Tom.
But
And they're
I'm-
saving you, the taxpayer, some money
I
by
don't
being
pay
like.
British taxes.
But in this scenario, you were a British citizen.
Uh-huh.
You're an Englishman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be invited as an American
No.
commoner.
No.
American commoners like us, we don't
Bottom
get
of the
nothing.
barrel.
Yeah.
You think being an English commoner is bad? Imagine being an American commoner. Do you think? No, that wasn't the next part I wanted to talk about. Oh, I mean, I have in my notes here. Do you think they have to be worried about foxes at all?
Why?
Because there's a lot of foxes.
Are foxes scary?
They can bite.
No, they can't.
I think they're skittish. You don't want to corner one though.
Yeah, but you don't want to corner anything.
That's not necessarily true.
What do you want to corner?
What if you got like a business deal you want to get signed off on? Yeah, corner the guy. Be like, hey, let's make a deal.
Yeah, I guess so.
I got this
Corner office. I'd like a corner office. It'll work.
I've got this bag of 78 cheeseburgers that I'd like to offer you. Let's talk about the royal couple themselves.
Okay. Prince
Harry.
You know his name is Henry?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is Harry short for Henry?
In this situation, Prince Henry of Wales.
I mean, it's only one letter shorter.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Harry, I mean, except for Harriet, I don't know what Harry would be short for. Harold? Harold. Yeah. Henry. He isn't my. He
I mean, it's the same number of letters, to be clear, Tom.
Henry. Oh yeah, 5 letters, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Thought there was another letter in there, so there's not 2 R's in there. You sure?
Henry Charles Albert David. He was born September 15th, 1984.
Yeah, shortly after us.
Yeah. Prince Harry, he's a member of the British royal family. He's the younger son of Charles, Prince of Wales.
Nice. Tim, did you think he was the Prince of Wales?
No, I said Wales. He's the son of Charles.
Yeah, but you thought for a minute like, oh, every royal family member, they're the prince or the princess of a different animal.
I mean, that would make as much sense as their current system, Tom.
Not really.
Prince Charles is his dad. Lady
Chuck.
Di was his
Diana.
mom. You remember Princess Diana?
I do.
Do you know why they called her Lady Di?
Why?
Because she was a lady.
She was.
And
well,
she passed away.
It's not why they called it.
It's true. It's sad.
No, that's not why they called her Lady Di.
She's a lady who died.
Did you know? I didn't know this, but that.
Is this going to be about Dodi Al-Fayed?
No, it's not going to be about Dodi Al-Fayed. That after her divorce, our current president pursued her aggressively.
Shocking.
And prompting Diana to say, quote, "He gives me the creeps." Apparently he was sending like a lot of flowers to her all the time. Like he has kept, like he heard, that she broke up.
See, that's BS, man, because I'm told
divorce.
that's what you're supposed to do.
It didn't work in this case. She didn't decide to, which, unfortunate. She could have been a princess and a first lady, which is, Jackie Onassis did that, right? Was Jackie Onassis a princess? No, she just married a real rich guy.
Yeah.
Onassis.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't royalty. He wasn't like Greek royalty or something.
I don't know.
I think he was just a Greek billionaire. No, who am I thinking of? Grace Kelly. She did that. She wasn't a first lady though.
No.
Yep. So Princess Diana would have been the first one.
Yeah.
But she said, pass.
Yeah, and tragically so.
Well, that has nothing to do with it.
I mean,
yeah, she wouldn't have been in that car if she married Donald Trump, but
it's my only point, Tom.
All right.
In your scenario where she's both a princess, the people's princess, from what I understand,
and if she had lived to be first lady,
yeah, exactly, then she wouldn't. Then we wouldn't be calling her Lady Di today,
right? Well, no. Once again, Tim, that's not why they call her that. And yeah, I mean, she dodged a bullet not going out with Donald Trump. Can I say that?
I guess, but in your scenario,
maybe she would have died even sooner.
Okay, then she wouldn't have been first
lady.
Maybe
there would have been a plane crash over to America for their first date.
All right, Tom. Why are you intent on coming up with alternate death scenarios for Lady Diana, Lady Di, when we should be talking about the royal wedding, Tom?
Yes.
Prince Harry and a lady, I assume.
Yeah.
Lady alive.
What? Wildly inappropriate, Sam. What do you know about Prince Harry? As an American, I want to say this much about Americans and the royal family.
Okay. Shoot.
I think we're fascinated by it as a culture because we get it. We understand enough of it, but it has absolutely nothing to do with us. We have a common language, a very similar culture, but that's a huge divide, and enough time has passed that now we look at the royal family in England as man, what a weird thing. But it has absolutely no effect on us, so cool.
I take issue with your premise.
Yes.
I don't think anybody, I think only a small segment of the American population cares or is even aware of the royal family.
No, I think that's wrong.
Not that look, I have no strong feelings either way. If anything, it's a little.
I'm speaking on behalf of the moms of this country.
It's convoluted and very boring to me. Like looking up the line of succession and all these people involved.
Mm-hmm.
It just bores me in the way that When
I don't
in
think-
like 7th grade, I tried to read the Bible, and it was like, and like the Old Testament was like, and Zopyrus begat, and then it's like all these
Nah,
other.
you gotta skip to the New Testament, the reboot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's when the cool.
That's
hippie
when
comes
everything
in.
gets
Yeah.
real sexy. Jesus is like, I'm gonna hang out with a prostitute.
Yeah.
It's like this would never have flown in the Old Testament.
Yeah, but you know when it's like it's just a bunch of names. That's what I feel like when it's the royal family.
The Bible and the royal family are just a bunch of names.
Yeah, just a bunch of boring people like who are just like, and this guy is this guy's son, and they begat from. It's like, all right, cool, great. Whenever there's a new royal baby, it's like, this one's name is like
who, and you're like, I don't care what the name is. Who begat him?
who begat? Who begat?
I don't think that that's what Americans are in. I don't think Americans are interested in like the line of secession.
Succession.
Well, that's inappropriate, Tim. It's the royal family. Have a little grow up, be an adult. But I don't think that that's what people are interested in. I think Americans are interested in just the core royal family.
Okay, so you're talking Queen Elizabeth,
The Queen,
the
Queen,
Prince Charles, and his sons,
William and Harry.
William and Harry.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew, do they care about?
No, not really.
Prince Edward?
Who are they? Who are they?
They're her other sons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see. Perfect example. No idea Charles had brothers.
Yeah,
He
Prince
never talks about them.
I've never heard him talk about anything.
You've never heard him talk? He talks like this.
Do you know about Anne, Princess Royal?
See, these are all names I've heard, but like I never knew how they were
Yeah,
connected.
so like what exactly?
Like who's Fergie?
Fergie is the ex-wife of some other guy. I
Yeah.
think. Maybe Prince Andrew?
Okay. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the one that they put in a can?
It's Prince Albert.
Oh, okay. Did he ever get out of that?
Oh, tragically,
It's
died
not
in
like
that can.
Schrodinger's cat where you don't know if.
Well, they never did open the can.
Yeah, so we don't know. He could be both alive and dead.
Yeah, but I heard he was in that car on that fateful night. Tom, I just want to make clear that I have nothing but the utmost respect for Princess Diana and her work with the anti-landmine charities. And I understand that she inspired a lot of people.
She did. She seems like she was a nice.
Yeah,
lady.
she seemed really nice. Look, I only know two things about her.
Mm-hmm.
She was the people's princess, right?
Uh-huh.
But not so much anymore. Now she's in like now there's a lot more. Because she was a commoner, right? And that was a thing. And that's why they called her the people's princess. Anyway, yeah, that is true. You don't know. You wanted to do this so bad, and you don't know anything about the royals.
Well, no.
And number two, what I know is that on that tragic night, they interrupted a rebroadcast of an episode of Saturday Night Live I was watching.
I remember watching it live too. It was like super late at night. It was like late at night there, and even later here.
No, it was earlier here, but because that's the way time works.
Oh,
It was in
right,
Paris.
but it was still late.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it was
buddy.
during Saturday Night Live, and it was I think it was the episode where they did the sketch, the Joe Pesci show, where guess what, Joe Pesci actually shows up, and I was like, what is going on here? And then boom, right in the middle, and Tom Brokaw's there telling me what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are the only two things I know about Princess Diana, and the fact that she inspired a lot of people. She hated landmines.
How come
A nice
she? We're gonna get letters now. But how come she was a princess and Kate is a duchess then?
You know.
I think Diana did have some like royal background. Not like she wasn't already a princess, but there was something going on. You can look into that. What do you know about Prince Harry? As an American boy, what is your knowledge and impression of Prince Harry?
Oh, yeah, you're right about Princess Diana.
What?
Diana. She was born into the Spencer family, a family of British nobility with
There
royal
you go.
ancestry. And was the
Yeah,
youngest daughter
because
of
that's
John
how
Spencer.
she was able to become a princess.
Okay.
But
All these, this is the
but
thing where
like
you lose me.
Kate and Meghan, they can't
Who's
be
Meghan?
princess. Meghan's the one getting married.
Oh,
Who just got married? Meghan Markle.
we haven't said her
We haven't
name
gotten
yet.
to her
All right,
yet.
Tom, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna let
Tim,
you.
we're only halfway through the episode. Of course, we haven't gotten to her yet.
I'm gonna
We're
let you.
barely. We haven't. I'm trying to get you into Harry.
All right, Harry. I know his name is Henry. He dressed up in an unfortunate costume one
A
time.
Nazi one time.
At
a fancy dress party.
I heard something about something that if I mentioned, you would get really mad at me. But I saw a picture of him alongside a picture of a footballer there that looked a little suspect.
Oh,
hey, we're not going to go into
the
that.
rumor that his dad's
Listen,
not
I'm
Prince
not
Charles.
gonna speak ill of anybody because that's not what we do here.
Yeah, I don't think that's
We have
true.
nothing
I mean,
re-
it is
but-
like a little uncanny, but I feel
You ever
like
see a picture of Ronan Farrow next to Woody Allen, and then a picture of Ronan Farrow next to Frank Sinatra?
yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But who can? None of my business. And also, like, I don't care about any of these people. Yeah, it's like it's as if you told me somebody on a soap opera was like, "Hey, you know what? There's speculation that this character's son was actually this character's son," and I'd be like, "Cool, I don't watch that show."
Right. Well, and I think that's.
I'm glad you're enjoying this plot
But I
line.
think that's the degree that Americans and a lot of Brits get into it, where it's like, this kind of has no effect on my day to day. This is basically just like real life soap opera characters.
The Queen has to sign off on every law, though.
But does she ever go like, no, not this one?
No, not in like 300
Well, they've never
years.
tried to pass any anti-Queen laws.
Ooh, they should do that just to.
Just to see if she's reading them all the way
Yeah.
through. And at the very end of a law, it's like, and the Queen has to dance in the lawn at sundown every day.
No, they should ice her, bro. They should be like, yo, and she's got a pound of Smirnoff Ice.
If we catch her, like, she's got to do it. She's got to do it. She's
I
got
don't care
to.
who you are.
She's got to kneel and do a Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah. Well, we'll knock her that crown right off her head.
I don't think they'd threaten that. But yeah, they should try and slip something into the laws like that.
Yeah. You know, trick the queen. That's all we want.
That
Somebody
kind of is
trick
all
the
I want.
goddamned queen. I mean, no, don't trick the queen. The queen is old and frail. If you're going to play a prank, play it on a younger member of the royal family.
Like who?
I don't know.
Charles? Charles?
Charles.
Prince Chuck? Or Prince Hank?
Or Prince William.
Americans
Prince
would be a
William-
lot more into this if it were Prince Chuck, Prince Hank, and Prince Billy.
I don't know if that's true.
Sure, we'd be like, oh, Hank, Billy, and Chuck, they're just like me. They're not
A couple of blue collar guys.
a couple of blue collar kings.
Yeah. All right. Tell me more about. Tell me what you
They
know.
could do the Kings of Blue Comedy tour, and they could get both the Kings of Comedy and the blue collar, all the fans, make a lot of money.
All, they're princes, not kings.
Put that in the small print.
And then also, they're not actually blue collar.
Do you think they could argue it if they went by these names, these new nicknames I
Okay.
gave them?
Yeah.
Do you think Hank, Henry, Harry?
Harry, just please.
You've confused me. You think Prince Harry ever gets pissed at Prince William? Prince William has got 3 kids now.
Yeah.
He's ever like, come on,
I'll tell you who
man.
they are. They're Prince George,
Yeah.
Prince.
Prince George is the one that we were fleeing from.
Yeah.
And now he's
Well,
back.
he was the king. Princess Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
and Prince Louis.
Yeah.
He's new.
He's brand new.
Yeah.
But do you,
Fifth in line of succession.
which means Harry is now 6th.
Yeah.
So you think he's like, come on, man, enough.
What? Do you think he's like, I really want to be king?
Yeah, apparently none of them want to be king or
Why
or
would
queen
you
or
want,
anything.
like, anyway, like, these people's lives are better than anybody's life who's ever lived
Yeah.
on the face of this earth.
But then when you become king or queen, your life gets like better.
You gotta like sign, it's to put your stamp on legislation and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually
Even if it's
probably
just a
that.
formality, but it's
Yeah.
just like you gotta be back by
I think it's
7 tonight.
I think it said you gotta show up to even more shit.
Yeah.
Whereas like the princes, I will say this about them, like they in their position now don't have to do as much official stuff, so they do a lot of charity work, which is really nice.
Yeah. Prince Harry's biggest problem is like, yeah, it's like you can't even dress up like a Nazi anymore.
In fairness, most people shouldn't be able to dress up like Nazis, especially not a prince.
I think that was the argument at the time.
Yeah,
when
that
those-
should
when
have
those photographs
rang
surfaced.
some bells for him. I will give him this. Like, these guys have weird lives, right?
Yeah, but weird lives that are the best lives of anybody who's ever existed on Earth.
Do you think they're the best?
Yeah, they don't have to do anything.
They have to show up at so many places and like they actually have like my version of hell, which is just like showing up at places and having to make small talk with strangers.
No, but it's strangers who are always deferential, who are always just like, hello, sir. It's an honor to
Yeah,
meet you.
but
And
even
you can just
that-
be like, hey, thanks.
Yeah. Off with
Like,
his
it's
head.
not like they're like, what do I say? I don't know how to make small talk with people. It's just like, I'm going to go in there. They're going to kiss my ass because, like, I was born.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be like, hey, what do you do? Hey, that sounds interesting. All right, cool. Bye.
It's small talk, small talk. It kind of doesn't matter what your position is. Small talk stinks.
I disagree.
Because I would be worried about like, oh, this person's going to come and make small talk to me. They're going to be deferential. And like, this is going to be something that they're going to like tell their grandkids about.
Yeah, so what?
You know
So all
what?
you
It's
have
like
to
an
do is
asshole.
go like, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, but that's boring. That's like that's got to get old.
Sure. I don't
Look,
know.
Tim,
Don't go.
This is why you're a patriot and I'm a loyalist. Okay, I already talked about foxes. I already talked about how now Harry's like so far away from the throne. It makes
I
me
don't-
sick.
Yeah. What else do you know about Harry?
One time he got naked in Las Vegas and he jumped in a pool and we got to see his butt. I think his penis too. I'm not sure about the penis thing,
Okay.
but
So
we
that's how
definitely
it-
got to see his butt. He
Yeah.
was playing strip billiards.
Snooker. Snooker.
Well, because he was like, "Oh, get this billiards
You're not
table
gonna
out
ask
of here."
the prince to play billiards.
Yeah, you're gonna get a snooker table in there. The men in the royal family don't always wear wedding bands. Prince William never wears his on the grounds that he doesn't like jewelry. But Prince Harry,
He should sell off all the crown jewels when nobody's
they're
looking.
not his yet. Prince Harry, he likes jewelry.
Ooh.
So according to reports, he's going to be wearing his wedding band.
Cool. That way people will know he's married.
Yes. Yeah, because otherwise, how would they know? They might think this guy's a swinging bachelor.
Yeah.
What do you think it's like being one of these guys as a swinging bachelor?
Easy and like fun and ridiculous. No worries whatsoever in your life. Nothing to worry about ever.
But you probably got so many women that are like they're not looking for something casual. They're looking to be a dang princess or at least
Okay.
a duchess.
All right.
But that's got to mean that it's like hard to break things off because it's like not only like, oh, I don't think we should see each other anymore. It's like, oh, and also like, yeah, you're not going to be a duchess.
Yeah, okay.
Just saying, probably sometimes it's hard.
Probably.
Do you want us?
My heart goes out to royalty. I'm sorry your lives are so hard. Royalty.
It's
Must
tradition.
be awkward breaking up with a woman when you have more money than God and nobody has ever asked anything of you your entire life, and you just snap your fingers and get whatever you want whenever you want it.
It's the tradition in British royal weddings to have child bridesmaids. Kate.
Before you said maids, I was like, what the?
Child brides. Kate was the outlier when she brought Pippa as her maid of honor. Remember Pippa?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, wow, look at this Pippa.
Yeah.
Hey, she's still single.
Yeah.
She's not anymore. Now she's married too.
Really?
Yeah.
Not to Prince Harry. At one point, they were like, hey, maybe Prince Harry and Pippa should get together.
Yeah.
People were shipping Prince Harry and Pippa.
Yeah.
Did I use that right?
Yeah. I think you did use it right.
Marika, did I use shipping right? Nice.
You got a very solemn nod there.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were shipping. And also, like, that's a very royal thing, inbreeding and whatever, right?
That wouldn't technically
I
be
mean, it wouldn't be
inbreeding.
inbreeding, but it would be like, yeah, let's keep it in the family here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that way the secrets
Why
get-
were people shipping that? Did they?
Because they were both roughly the same age,
Yeah.
and they're like both attractive people,
and rich.
rich.
Um,
The royal family, are they lizard people?
it's speculated.
Yeah,
Along
all
with
of
the-
them, right?
All well, yeah, of course. They would have to adopt children if they want to have lizard children.
Okay.
Them in the bushes,
Mhm.
lizard people.
Okay.
They all get together at the lizard people retreats. Talk about, I don't know, the best flies to eat.
Okay.
Lizards.
Yeah, I know.
That's
But
what
like
they do.
man-sized lizards, they'd have to
And
eat more than
woman-sized.
flies. Speaking of women, Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about Meghan Markle?
Meghan Markle, the dame from America. I was trying to come up with like
she
an alliteration.
was an American
Can
dame.
girl. Yeah. You got it. American dame.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle. He's marrying an American.
What the what?
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
I'm hoping this is going to turn into some kind of a King Ralph situation where we get an American on the throne.
Tom, you have talked about nothing else but Meghan Markle's dad for like the last 3 days to me. Like you like IM me about him, like send me links and stuff. I don't. Can you
Tim, nowadays it's DMing. Direct messaging, not instant messaging.
No,
Get with the
this happens in an
times.
instant. And it's not directly to me. It's in a public forum.
I am fascinated by Meghan Markle's dad, who as of a week ago, I didn't know existed. So he got into all this controversy. I'm laughing just thinking about these pictures because there were all these paparazzi pictures, and then it became a controversy because it turned out that he was in cahoots with the paparazzi. But there are these pictures of him he lives in Mexico. And I presume he retired to Mexico. It sounds like kind of he's older. He's retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
But there are pictures of him at an internet cafe, and on the screen is a picture of Harry and Meghan,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a picture of him in Starbucks reading a book about England. I find these pictures to be so funny. And then a picture of him outside a party supply store getting fitted for a suit because the suit store apparently was closed. So they just went to the party supply store and gave the guy a measuring tape. And we're like, it will give you money. Pretend to be measuring this guy for a suit.
And so they staged paparazzi.
They staged all these paparazzi pictures.
But
that-
most paparazzi pictures are staged.
Yeah, well, and in his defense, his whole thing was that they had gotten pictures of him walking out of a 7-Eleven with a 6-pack and stuff like that. Yeah, that didn't put the best light on him. And he was like, I don't even drink. That was for guests.
I was buying that for teens in the parking lot. I was going in there to buy porno mags, and I was just buying that six-pack
me down.
for teens.
So according to him, he was like, look, all these bad pictures are out. These guys are saying like, hey, let's get some nice pictures of you. But they weren't nice pictures. They were very dumb pictures.
Yeah, but somebody bought them, right?
Yeah, I mean...
That's the thing. He was making benign pictures that he could sell and flood the market with positive.
His daughter...
Hey, he's just trying to flood the market with positivity, man.
His daughter claims that he was paid a pittance for it, but...
Who, Meghan Markle?
No, his other daughter. I think her name's Samantha, but who's Meghan's half-sister, which we'll get to. But there are other claims saying he made up to 100,000 pounds from these photographs.
100,000 pounds of what?
Of gold.
Wow.
Yeah, which I can't even imagine how much money that's worth.
I thought it would be like of wheat or something.
No, even that would probably still be if he could move it.
Yeah, but how do you know? Like if you had that much
I wouldn't know who to sell it to.
Yeah.
And a lot of times
the clock's ticking as soon as you get that.
And you get to like a distributor, like a wheat distributor, and they probably don't want to set up like one-off deals. They're like, our system's really set up for like a reoccurring wheat shipment. You're like, nah, it's probably just gonna be this one time I get all this wheat.
Yeah. They'll be like, I don't know. They'll have so many questions about the wheat.
Yeah, like where it come from.
Yeah. Or like just like specifics about like growing conditions and stuff that you won't necessarily know.
Well, what strain of wheat is it? You'd be like, look, you want the wheat or not?
Yeah, and they'd probably be like, I don't know, man. Probably not.
I have a royal wedding to get to. Probably be like, look, 100,000 pounds of wheat isn't even that much for us. We deal in millions of pounds.
Yeah.
It's really not worth the cost of setting all this up just to sell this.
So Meghan Markle's dad got cheated, it sounded like.
Sounds like.
Bunch of wheat.
He might not know yet, but he's been cheated. But so Meghan Markle, her dad remarried, and like his kids from his original marriage, first the marriage, were like out of the house by the time Meghan was born.
Okay.
But now the half siblings are coming back with a vengeance about all this.
Oh, they're not happy that their sister's going to be a princess?
She's going to only be a duchess.
She'll be a princess.
No, they're not happy. So like, I mean, the dad seems fairly like, yeah, whatever. But like the siblings, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently like the half sister was writing a memoir that was going to be like the memoir of like the sister of Princess Pushy.
Ooh.
But then she later said that was a joke. But then like,
who would buy that?
I don't know, people buy crap, I guess. But also, I'm reading this stuff and I'm like, well, lady, if you're writing a memoir, like, and if it's not out this week, guess what? Ship sailed. Like, you gotta have it out now. Her brother, half-brother, just last month, not even a month ago, sent a very nasty letter to Prince Harry.
About what? That's my sister.
She's mine. I'll just read the beginning. Dear Prince Harry, it's not too late. Meghan Markle is obviously not the right woman for you. As more time passes to your royal wedding, it becomes very clear that this is the biggest mistake in royal wedding history.
What's his argument?
I'm confused why you don't see the real Meghan that the whole world now sees. Meghan's attempt to get the part of a princess like a below sea average Hollywood actress is getting old. What kind of person starts out by using her own father until he's bankrupt, then forgets about him in Mexico, leaving him broke?
She left him in Mexico?
She flew him to Mexico and then forgot him.
Hey, I'm going to put you on a vacation.
Leaving him broke over mostly all her debts. And when it's time to pay him back, she forgets her own father like she never knew him. My father will never recover financially from paying Meghan's way, nor emotionally from disavowing him. Meg is sure showing her true colors. It's very apparent that her tiny bit of Hollywood fame has gone to her head, changing her into a jaded, shallow, conceited woman that will make a joke of you and the royal family heritage. Not to mention...
Why are you reading this whole thing?
I'm going to read the whole thing now.
Okay.
Not to mention, to top it all off, she doesn't invite her own family and instead invites complete strangers to the wedding. Quote, who does that? You and the royal family should put an end to this fake fairy tale wedding before it's too late. And two was spelled the wrong way.
TWO.
I wish. Her own father didn't get an invite, whom should be walking her down the aisle. She, something
Tom,
forgets.
why are you reading? This is so boring. Why are you reading this?
If it wasn't for her father, she would be bussing tables and babysitting to pay her own debt off. The whole world is watching Meg make bad decisions and choices. It's not too late, Harry. Meghan is still my sister. She is family. So whatever happens unto her, whether she wants to forget knowing me or the rest of her family, family comes first. Also, you would think that a royal wedding would bring a torn family closer together. But I guess we're all distant family to Meg. Sincerely, Tom Markle Jr.
Okay.
Scathing. A scathing letter from her half-brother.
So she owes her dad some money, it sounds like.
Yeah, basically, I think it's just that, like, I think her family...
She was on Suits.
Yeah, the biggest show.
Yeah.
I think it's basically that her family thinks she's, like, way, way richer than she is. Like, I'm sure she gets paid very well being on Suits, but she's not one of the Suits.
Do you think she makes over $250,000 a year on Suits?
I'm going to say yes, but less than $500,000 a year.
Okay, but that's enough to pay her poor dad back.
Who knows how much she borrowed from him? Maybe she borrowed more than that. Yeah. I don't know, but that's like a bad look. I mean, did this guy ever...
That's a bad... Who cares? This guy probably doesn't know this lady that well.
Meghan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
did he think like Harry was going to be like, well, I just received a very...
No, he was trying to get people like you to read
No,
his
I don't
letter.
think so, Tim. He only sent it to Harry and In Touch magazine.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think he wanted a lot of people to see it.
Yeah.
And he probably wasn't paid for it. Do you want to know a fun fact about her dad, Tom Markle?
Yeah. Okay.
You'll never guess this fun fact. You know what he used to do for a living?
Plumber.
No. He was a lighting guy on Married with Children.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Right? So that's the thing, too. It's like, well, he worked in Hollywood. Like, he worked in the business.
Yeah. So what? What's your point?
I'm just saying her brother's like, oh, this Hollywood. First off, Suits shoots in Vancouver. It's quite a tongue twister.
Hollywood North.
Yeah. So she's not even, or Toronto maybe it shoots.
Yeah.
I think it shoots in Toronto.
Hollywood Northeast.
Yeah. So it's not even that Hollywood. Her dad's more Hollywood than she is, right?
Yeah. He knows Al Bundy, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. I mean, Married with Children definitely shot in Hollywood. That's
Yeah.
a Hollywood show. Suits. It's a Toronto or Vancouver show.
Yeah. Canadian, for Christ's sakes. Is that why she's eligible to be in the royal family? Because Canada is technically under the auspices of the
But
royal
she's
family?
not Canadian.
But
She's
she
American.
works there, Tom.
Yeah, so maybe
In
they
either
were like-
Vancouver or Toronto. We're not sure.
maybe the first time she met the Queen, she was like, oh, hang on a second, pulled her wallet out and was like, I got a couple of pictures of you. And it was, Canadian money with the Queen on it. And that impressed the Queen. And she was like, okay, you can marry my grandson.
Tell me about the wedding. Who's going to be the DJ? What kind of food?
You know who might be the DJ? I'll tell you a little bit about the food in a second because there's some controversy
we're really
there,
running out
too.
of time here, Tom.
You know who might be the DJ? Who might be performing?
Sir Elton John?
No. The Spice Girls.
Really?
Yeah. They're all invited. And Scary Spice made like a slip on a show about like, oh, I shouldn't have said we're invited. We might get fired. And it was like, oh, fired? Well, fired's different than
Tom,
invited.
The look in your eyes right now. You are so invested in this.
I'm just, hey, look, we haven't had a Spice Girls reunion
Tom,
yet.
by the time anybody hears this, it will either have happened or not. So, like,
Yeah.
this is not relevant.
Well, I'd ask most of our listeners to not watch the royal wedding until
how are
this
they going to know? The episode's over.
We'll tweet it out. We'll put it out there. Don't watch for spoilers.
All right. What kind of food?
So here's where the controversy is, Tim. Let me find it.
You gasped.
Yeah, well, boy, I gasped, and so did the majority of the United Kingdom, Tim.
Why is that, Tom?
So Chuck is having the reception.
Prince Charles.
Yeah, for 200 guests at the Frogmore House.
Mm-hmm. More like more frogs.
Less than a mile from Windsor Castle.
Okay.
But here's the big, big controversy. You know what he's serving there?
What?
Lemon and elderflower cake.
What's that?
Cake made of elderflower. I don't know. It just sounds very British, right? Elderflower cake.
Yeah, is that controversial that they're doing British things?
No, what's controversial is that it's custom to have fruit cake.
Oh.
And they're eschewing old-fashioned fruit cake for newfangled elderflower cake.
Yeah.
Elderflower cake.
I mean, it sounds like the flower's pretty old.
Yeah. But
That's
it's still
old-fashioned,
newfangled. Because what's even older than elderflowers? Fruits themselves.
Are they going to have a bonfire there? At my wedding, we had a bonfire, and people seem to like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to have. Probably not going to have a bonfire.
We had pulled pork at my wedding, and I'm not even, I don't even eat meat. And
Yeah.
we were just like, you know what? People are going to want pulled pork. So
Yeah.
that was an option.
But you insisted on pulling the pig apart before it was even cooked.
I pull all my pork.
You're like, before you throw that pig in the fire, let me pull him apart.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to have pulled pork at the wedding. I mean, I told you.
We also had a make your own taco kind of station.
That they will have.
Okay.
That's a royal staple.
Nice.
I already talked
Do people have to like wear suits and stuff? Oh, probably because she's from the show Suits. They insist on people wearing suits.
Well, probably the production is flying in all the suits.
Yeah.
That's great product placement for them.
Oh, yeah.
If everyone's wearing a suit and they're like, where'd you get that suit? From Suits.
Yeah.
What is that? It's a television show
About
that my
Suits.
wife was in.
Yeah.
I think it's very
Is
weird.
Suits canceled now?
No, Suits is still on.
Okay.
But
Good for Suits.
Meghan Markle's done acting now.
Well, of course.
But that's like a weird thing that like, well, once you get married, now you're like, that's it. That's it for everything.
Yeah.
No more working in Canada.
Tough.
Yeah. It is tough. It sounds like it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor is that there'll be the Duke, the Duke and the Duchess of Essex,
Well,
which I've always been led to believe that Essex is a real shithole.
I mean, it's all shitholes. But Essex is at least one that I've heard of.
And
I'm just kidding. They're not all shitholes.
that's for England. And in Scotland, there'll be the Earl and Countess of Ross because they're big
From
Friends
Friends?
fans. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And
maybe we
when
can get a
Ross,
Friends and,
when Ross was
Suits
reached for
crossover.
a comment, when Ross was reached for a comment, he said, "Oh, how come I don't get to be the Earl of Ross?" I already said that her dad was on Married
Did
with
you
Children.
write that? You read that joke off your computer screen. Did you write that joke, Tom?
No, I made it up. That's improvised. She's not going to say that she promises to obey him
Okay.
during the whole thing.
One of these liberated women, I
Yeah,
see.
well, Diana didn't promise to obey Charles, and she sure didn't. And Kate did not promise to obey William.
Okay, so it's no longer newsworthy.
No. But, hey,
You know what was better about my wedding, I think, than this wedding?
what?
Uh,
We should have just made this a competition episode.
yeah. I mean, the playlist, I would like to, maybe next week we take a look at the playlist there, because I think Look, we didn't even have a DJ, Tom. It was mental. I did all the DJing myself.
Yeah. Well, but if they have the Spice Girls there, then that's gonna blow.
Why? They'll play Wannabe.
Yeah.
They'll play Two Become One. Obviously, Two Become One.
Yeah. That'll probably be with their first dances too.
Yeah. And then what else? Spice Up Your Life. Who wants to hear that? I mean, we played that at my wedding.
We had our first dance to Spice Up Your Life.
They have like 5 songs that people want to hear.
Over there, I'm
I've
sure they have
you everything,
all the joy can bring, that I swear.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah. Over there, I'm sure they have so many more hits that we didn't even get to.
Sure. Anyway, people didn't have to dress up at mine. We didn't make anybody sit through a ceremony. Man, you got to go to a church and sit through a ceremony, and some people are on the lawn eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Or McDonald's.
Or some dollar menu double cheeseburgers from some creep that somehow got invited.
Some American creep.
Do people get, like, hammered at the royal wedding?
I guarantee the English are always looking for an excuse to get hammered.
Yeah.
I guarantee maybe people at the royal wedding aren't getting hammered, but I guarantee you everybody else in the country is getting hammered and using that as an excuse. Like, oh, Harry got married. Let's have an old drink.
Final thoughts on the royal wedding, Tom?
I just hope my invite comes in time because flights are getting real expensive.
Yeah. I think, I mean, you haven't booked your flight?
No, because I don't want to waste the money in case.
Yeah.
God forbid I'm not invited.
Well, I don't know. Check your spam filter.
Oh, that's how I wasn't in The Dark Knight Rises.
All right. So,
it's true.
Royal wedding.
Go back and listen to an episode from like 5 years ago.
10 out of 10. Good job on the royal wedding, everybody.
It was a great job. You know what? I think I like all the royal. I don't like Charles. He seems like a real stick in the mud. But I like the boys.
Yeah.
And I like the queen. She seems like a fun time. And I like Kate. And I like Meghan. I'm a loyalist through and through.
Great. Tom.
And I also think that it's all horseshit.
Oh, man.
But I like them.
Yeah, you do. Are you going to buy like a commemorative plate about this?
I should. I'd like to. I'd like to eat my dinner looking at Prince Harry.
Elderfruit cake.
Yeah. And when I get to the bottom of my elderflower cake, there's Prince Harry smiling up at me. Saying, oh, good job, mate. You ate all the elderflower cake. If you like the show, you can find out more at TCGTE.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Complete Guide. Follow us on Twitter at Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at Your Pal Tim.
You can email us to CompleteGuideEverything@gmail.com if you have a problem you'd like us to solve or you just got something to say. And you can support the show by supporting our sponsors. Also by checking out TCGTE.com for all your Amazon shopping. TCGTE.com/Amazon for all of your Amazon shopping, where you can do it and no extra cost to you, but we get a cut. And TCGTE.com/pledge for our Patreon, where you get fun bonus episodes every week. Mini episodes. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, slow your roll.
Get your hopes up. I mean, they're not that many. Like 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun.
Reddit.
And Reddit. TCGT.reddit.com.
Yeah.
You can find our Reddit. And I'll tell you what. Prince Harry, Prince Charles, Prince William, Duchess Kate, Duchess Meghan, and of course Queen Elizabeth. Patreon account on the house.
Yeah. Do you want to give out a username and password?
No. Actually, no, not on the house. They got enough money. Come on, support.
They don't know how to
look.
pay
If
for
you're
things.
listening to the show,
You
then
think they're like, let me pull
support
out
it.
my credit card and enter it. Tom, can I do something real quick?
Yes.
The results are in, Tom.
Uh-huh.
The TCGTE 2018 Best City to Live in the world results are here.
Whoa.
We've crunched the numbers. we've traveled around this great land.
Uh-huh.
We've traveled around this world. And the winner of the 2018 Best City to Live in the world is Madison, Wisconsin.
Wow, what a surprise after last week's episode where you shit all over it.
Tom, here's why Madison, Wisconsin is the best place to live. Number one, it's fun. Get this, Tom. Madison's official city bird is a plastic pink flamingo.
Wow.
Whimsical. Tom, number two on the list of why you should live in Madison, Wisconsin, there are lots of lakes. Tom, there are so many lakes there. There are 5 lakes to explore.
Well, that's not even that many lakes.
Mendota, Monona, Waubesa, Kegonsa, and Wingra. And Lake Wingra is commonly known to be the Lake of the Dead, or the Dead Lake, since the perimeters are quite marshy. Hey, Tom, don't forget about the culture in Madison, Wisconsin. The band Garbage formed in Madison in 1994 and has since sold 17 million albums.
I like Garbage.
Yeah. Tom, Otis Redding died there.
Well,
His
that's
plane
sad.
crashed into the previously mentioned Lake of Monona.
The Dead Lake?
No, this is a
Oh,
different
okay.
lake.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, but that's not called the Dead Lake.
Yeah.
Tragic.
glad to know Otis Redding
Greatest
isn't
voice in
haunted.
history, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's named after James Madison, Tom. He was our 4th president and owned over 100 people as slaves
And his-
while he was in the White House.
And his wife loved ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream thing, I guess, is more relevant. So buy there now. The median home price, $230,000. That's reasonable.
All right, but what's the medium home price?
Well, that's the price for a medium home. Median monthly rent, Tom, $1,685.
All right,
A little
but
higher than I thought.
But what's the medium monthly?
No,
rent?
that's for like a medium-sized apartment.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
very
why I said it.
confusing.
Guess what? Anybody looking to mingle? 47% of the residents are single.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and guess
Oh,
what? The median age, 34.
And what's the medium age?
I guess like halfway, like
50.
Yeah. And the median household income is $56,563.
That's a high rent considering the
Tom,
the
it's
income.
not. It's a lot of people think it's like out in the sticks, some backwater hick town. It's not. It's great.
Well, I take it back from last week when we told that newly single person not to move there because it sounds like there's a lot of
like 100,000 single people there or something. Yeah,
singles bars.
Yeah, and guess what? It's close to Fitchburg.
Wow, I'm sold.
So everybody, let's all move to Madison, Wisconsin, the best place to live in the world. Thanks for listening, folks.
We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.